How's it going, guys? In this episode of Cup or Bust, we are being the Chicago Blackhawks. So this should be pretty interesting. Obviously, they won 3 Stanley Cups in 6 years, missed the playoffs for the first time in, I think, 7-8 years this season. Another thing that's kind of interesting, too, you'll notice the 3 top players there, Patrick Kane, Corey Crawford, Duncan Keith, do not include Jonathan Toews, and he's getting paid $10 million. So I think I might make a bold move and trade Jonathan Toews. Obviously, it'll depend what we can get back for him. Plus, we're playing in the Central Division, or you could argue the toughest division in the NHL. And we are actually tied for second last there in rating with the Dallas Stars. The Avs are the only team rated lower, so definitely have to make some moves here to try and get better. Obviously, for this, we always turn owner mode off. It's just kind of annoying. Only thing we leave on there is salary cap, waivers, and computer trades. And right here's a quick refresh on the settings. Try to use the most realistic ones possible. So we have full sim there. Injuries off, though, just in case like the starting goalie went down and would absolutely ruin one of the 3 years. Period length, 20 minutes. CPU trades on. Difficulty superstar. Authentic draft pick ownership. Salary cap on, trade difficulty hard, and of course waivers are also on. And on top of those settings, I have my own list of rules just to make things a bit more interesting. First thing, unlimited free agent signings. I think that's just to make the summers a bit more exciting. Max 5 trades per year. CPU offers, though, are a bonus. That way, if we actually get a good CPU offer, it helps us out. Cannot trade picks past 2020. That way, if we like ruin the team, doesn't ruin the future too bad. And then keep at least 4 picks per draft. Just to make it a little bit more realistic. Also, guys, I have my own list of custom players just to make the franchise mode a bit more interesting and realistic. I actually updated it in the last episode. So you got Brady Tkachuk there still, Cole Caulfield, K. McCarr on the Avs, Ilya Kovalchuk's a free agent, Ilya Samsonov there, goalie for the Capitals, Shishorkin here is a goalie for the Rangers, Sorokin a goalie for the Islanders, Farabee here, Jack Hughes, Jake Ottinger is a goalie for the Stars, Oliver Wahlstrom there, Quinn Hughes, and that is it. So obviously I added a bunch of new prospect goalies to try and add some more good young goalies to the game, as there's really a lack of them in franchise mode. And in this episode, I'll be putting a $50K playoff pack on the line. If we win the Stanley Cup in one of the 3 years, we can keep the pack, but if we lose all 3 years, we have to quick sell it. And right here, guys, is the team we have to work with. So first line's pretty solid, Saad, Toews, and Kane. Second line there, not too bad either, Duclair, DeBrincat, and Schmaltz. Third is Sharp, and Anisimov, and Hinostroza. And then fourth is Yurko, Hayden, and Martinson. You'll actually notice Hossa isn't on this team. In the last episode, I removed him and a bunch of other LTIR players from franchise mode. That way the teams that had them on LTIR would actually get that cap space in franchise mode. Another thing just to make it a bit more fair and realistic. So hopefully we can use that cap space now. Maybe even sign Kovalchuk. Defense here. Top pair is good. After that, definitely could use some work. Starting goalie, though, in Crawford, obviously is very solid. AHL team really has nothing. Like, I looked through it, there is just no prospects here. Samuelson's actually on the AHL team, but still available as a free agent, so I might sign him as he's already playing for AHL team. Not sure how that works. Defense there's really nothing either. Like, Tulola here is probably the best prospect in the AHL, and he only has medium top 6D, so just kind of gives you an idea of the prospect situation. Honestly, I think I might try and not do good this year. Like, I don't know if I'll tank, but definitely, I think I'm going to try and win in 2019, as I really just don't think the team's good enough right now. But as you can see there, our team status is contender. So, forgot to mention we added an extra rule last time, where if we're a rebuilder, we can't sign him. If we're hopeful, we have to offer him less than he's asking for. And if we're a contender or champion, we can offer him whatever we want. So, definitely going to try and sign him, plus make a few trades here and just hopefully make the team better. And right here's look at the team values. Obviously, Kane there, basically max value. Keith and Toews also have a decent amount, same with Saad. After that, really not too much. Have a couple of guys there that are unsigned with okay potential, like Yoki Harju is medium top 6. I'm surprised he's not a bit higher than that. The one thing that really helps us out, though, was that Hartman trade. We have 2 first-round picks in this year's draft. Another reason why I wouldn't mind not doing great this year. Hope for a high pick. Also, we have 11 million salary cap space with Hossa on LTIR. Not sure how else they got that salary cap, but I'm definitely going to try and make the most of it. So we'll see what's out there on the trade block, sign some free agents, and then get started with the season. Alright, guys, so I'm trying to make a statement here with my first trade as the Blackhawks GM, trading Jonathan Toews to the Minnesota Wild for Mikael Granlund and Jared Spurgeon. Granlund's only 1 overall below Toews, or sorry, 2 overall below, but he's got elite potential, so he can definitely grow, where Toews is older, he's going to stop growing. And he's making almost half the amount of money, or actually, that's right about half, 5.7, 10.5. Also, Spurgeon here is a very solid defenseman, 84 overall. We could move Seabrook down to the second pair, would definitely help out that D-core. Obviously, to make this happen, I actually have to add some picks, so adding a second in 2020, third in 2019, and third in 2018. As you can see, they have the values on our side. They want Toews and the 2018 third. Hopefully this will go through. Honestly, I think it's a good trade. We get cap space, or actually, those two players are both the same cap space as Tays. And again, I think I'd much rather these two than just Jonathan Tays. Here's another look at Tays' stats, and then you go over to like Granlund, Spurgeon. It just makes a lot of sense. We'll see what the Minnesota Wild say here. Trade accepted. There we go. I'm hoping that works out. I know a lot of Blackhawks fans aren't going to be happy with that, but we are making some bold moves here right off the start. So right now, guys, trying to get another big trade. This one's with the Winnipeg Jets, trading them Brandon Saad. I just feel like Brandon Saad isn't the player he used to be. As you can see, he's 24 years old, 83 overall, with medium elite potential. So he does have a couple years left to grow, but I'd rather take a chance here on Kyle Connor. He's 20 and 82 overall, so only 1 overall below. 4 years younger, and with low elite potential, if we play him on the first line, he should grow a lot. Also trying to get back Josh Morrissey. We really need to improve on our second pair left-handed D, and he'd be the perfect fit. Again, another guy that's young and low elite potential. So with Saad, I'm actually adding a few AHL/NHL fringe players in Martinson, Boma, Di Domenico. Not going to re-sign any of them. None of them have any like potential or anything. I actually would trade all 3 of them combined for a 7th, but they want them, so I'm hoping this will just help the trade go through. Adding a 7th there to hopefully make this thing go through. The value is on our side. Let's see what the Jets say here. Trade rejected. Okay, so they do want Martinson. Maybe we're trying to like make them take too many of our bad players. So let's just try a 7th there. We got rid of 2 of them, and then let's see. We'll give them a 7th in 2019 as well. Maybe they'll do this deal. And they do, as we're calling up Lance Boma. There we go. Alright guys, so I'm trying to make one final trade here before the season starts. Trading Buffalo, 5 of our worst prospects. All have AHL potential and are signed to multi-year deals. So like, I'm not going to be able to get rid of them for a while if I don't trade them away. Just asking back a 4th round pick, which they have on the block. So if they say yes to this, like, it's a huge favor to me. Plus we get a free 4th essentially. I think they will say yes based on the value. And they do. So I think that's an awesome move. We can actually go sign free agents now. Plus, I wanted to get rid of those contracts anyway. As you can see there, we have $14.5 million in cap space. Kovalchuk here wants $2.6 million, so definitely going to go hard after him. We'll probably offer him like $2.75 for 1 year. Hopefully they'll say yes to that. He actually is an 83 now, opposed to an 84. I decreased him a bit. Plus, I was looking at our bottom 6. It's pretty bad for forwards, so I'm going to give Hudler and Toulouse deals too. Hopefully they say yes. Usually you can give them like an extra 100K, and they will. Also, too, for potentially want to sign Samuelson, who's on our AHL team, so might as well just have him on the full team there. And I mean, that's 4 spots. That would give us like 1 shy of the max, so that's probably fine right there. And as you can see here, Samuelson accepted our offer. Makes sense. He was already playing for AHL team. Hudler also accepted. Same with Toulouse and Kovalchuk, so we got all 4. Pretty happy about that. So after all those trades and signings, here's a look at the team going into this season. Honestly, I really like the look of it now. Kyle Connor, Mikael Granlund, and Patrick Kane's the first line. DeBrincat and Nisimov and Kovalchuk's the second line. I actually switched DeBrincat to a winger. I feel like he's more natural there anyways. Toulouse, Schmaltz, and Declare is the third line, with Hudler, Hayden, and Sharp on the 4th line. Defense also looks a lot better now. Keith and Spurgeon's the top pair. We got Seabrook and Morrissey there on the 2nd, and Franzen and Murphy on the 3rd. Obviously, Crawford is still in goal there, who hopefully will really help us with this playoff push. I didn't want to do bad, but I figured looking at this team, if we make the playoffs, we make the playoffs, and we'll just, take our 2 late first-round picks. Also, with this team, I sent down a bunch of guys. The AHL team is actually pretty solid now. Forwards do still have some 60s, but defense there is like all mid-70s, and the goalie's a 74, so maybe the AHL team will actually do decent. I'm going to start simming now, so we'll find out soon. Just got a pretty interesting offer from the Minnesota Wild. They want to give me Eric Staal and a 5th-round pick for our first-round pick in 2018. Now, I'm pretty sure Eric Staal is rated pretty highly in this game, and he's only making $3.5 million, so definitely have to check his rating out here. 85, yeah, that's a very solid center. We'd move Anisimov down to the 3rd line, then we'd probably move Schmaltz to like the 3rd line wing. I'd like to do this, but I don't know if I want to give up my pick. I'd probably rather give up the Nashville pick, as they're going to do worse than us, or I meant to say better than us, but apparently they're doing worse than us. Do I give up this pick for Eric Staal? That is a tough one. Doesn't look like the 2019 first would have enough value. How old is Staal? He's 33, so I mean, I don't know. Even if he starts regressing a bit, $3.5 million is such a good contract for him. Plus doesn't count as one of our trades. We still have a first-round pick in 2018. We can hope the Preds miss the playoffs. Alright, I'm going to take this trade. I'm going to do it, and hope it works out. And I just got this offer from Montreal. They want to give me Petrie, a 4th and a 5th for Anisimov, but I really think our defense is fine, so I'm just going to decline this. And I just got another trade offer for Anisimov. Arizona here wants to give me Demers, a 6th and a 7th, but I think he's actually worse than Petrie, so still going to say no here. And as you can see, we're now at the deadline. We have a record of 31, 25, and 7. Kind of crazy, actually. We did have a 500 record, but before the deadline, we went on a 7-game winning streak there. So, I mean, maybe we're in a playoff spot now. I don't know. That's definitely going to change, I guess, what we do here at the deadline. Say if we went on a 7-game losing streak before the deadline, we probably would have started selling. We're actually second place in the division, and wow, the division's terrible. Usually Central is good. Winnipeg there is first with 92 points. We're second with 69. Winnipeg is just a monster in this game, I guess. Like, look at how much better they are than the rest of the teams. Nashville's at 60, so they may or may not make the playoffs. Obviously, we hope that they miss the playoffs and then can get a lottery pick. So, trade deadline. Also, Patrick Kane there, 58 points, 63 games, so he's playing pretty well. We'll see what we can do here. Hopefully, make at least a couple trades happen. Alright, guys, so we're now trying to make a trade with the Edmonton Oilers for Yamamoto. Obviously, a very good prospect, 19, 74 overall, medium top 6. Offering them Connor Murphy here, who's an 80, and he's making 3.8 for the next 5 years. And we can easily just call up Ruda, who's a 78, obviously a couple overall below, but on the bottom pair, we find to replace him. Also adding From, as well as Levainen, another unsigned prospect with medium top 6, and then a 6th round pick there to hopefully just get this thing to go through. The fact that Yamamoto's on the block, I feel like they might say yes, and they want Murphy. We'll try it here. Here we go. Okay, they're going to say yes as we're calling up Ruda. I think that's a steal, and we still have a shot at the playoffs. I love that trade. We could make one more trade at the deadline, but there was really nothing out there I liked. Obviously, forward group's going to stay the same. Defense there, we now have Franzen and Ruda as the bottom pair, but I think it's worth it to pick up Yamamoto. So hopefully we can still make the playoffs, and then, you know, get lucky at the draft, have a good offseason, and I think our team will be stacked for next year. Alright guys, we're now at the end of the regular season, and as you can see, even though our team technically got worse at the deadline, we started playing better. Finished there 44, 28, and 10. Like, look at that, just so many W's. I don't know how we started playing better. AHL team's also a beast, 55, 20, and 7. We should be in the playoffs, especially since our division was pretty bad, unless the entire division started playing better. No, so we did finish second there, 98 points. Winnipeg, though, won not only the division, also the conference, 119. Nashville, though, got third. Was hoping they would have missed. Dallas missed 1 point less, so 1 point away from Nashville missing and having a lottery pick. I mean, probably we still wouldn't have won one of the lotteries, but you never know. So hopefully it'll still be like a 20-something pick. Kane here, leading scorer, 76 points. Hoping for a bit more from him, but I guess, you know, we did take away Taze and Saad. Granley there, 68. Kovalchuk, 62 on the second line. Staal there, 62 as well in the second line. Connor there, 53. Hopefully he'll grow. DeBrincat, 53. He still the same rating. Schmaltz, 52, and he was on the, I guess, second and third line. I mean, these three guys here all have 50 points. They better grow, like, I really hope at least. Duclair even 42, so a lot of the young players had very solid seasons. Hopefully they'll turn into some growth for them. Corey Crawford here, not bad actually. And looking at the AHL here, Hinostroza had 80 points, was basically a point per game player. Yurko was actually pretty close as well, so maybe one of those guys could grow for us. That would be pretty awesome. I think Hinostroza actually usually has a decent amount of growth when I look at it. Hull there, Art Ross Trophy winner this year. That's pretty sick. Ovechkin right behind him. Looks to have won the Maurice Richard. Tavares, Kucherov, Palmieri. So Hull just went off this year as well, the entire Devils first line. I'm going to take a look now too and see who finished first the entire NHL. So it was Winnipeg. Not only did they win the conference, they also won the NHL. Tampa there missed the playoffs even though they finished 13th in the league with 92 points. Kind of feel bad for them. Also Rangers there missing even though they finished the top 16. Same with Ottawa. That really sucks. Anaheim finished 20th, still made the playoffs. Nashville, they shouldn't have been in the playoffs. I feel like we got screwed there. And last place, as always, the Detroit Red Wings. So the first round of the playoffs, guys, we're going up against the Nashville Predators, the team that traded us their first round pick. It doesn't look like their team's really changed much at all. I was wondering maybe if Tolvanen was on this team, and he doesn't look to me on the starting NHL lineups. That means they have him just tearing up the AHL. That top D pair, though, Yossi and Subban, so sick. I mean, their top 6 is just so good. And then they got Rinne and Ned, so this is definitely going to be tough. So here we go, guys. First game, first period, 1-1 here. Nismov, Forsberg each score. Kovalchuk there gets one in the second, and nothing in the third. So we're up 1-0. So we're good signs early here. Obviously, we want to beat them too. That way, the first round pick we get from them is higher. Yeah, if they go on to win the Stanley Cup, it'll be like the last pick in the draft. We'd much rather it be the 17th pick or whatever. Game number 2 now. Nothing in the first. They get 2 though in the second, and we answer back to Brinkat and Kovalchuk. We forced it to OT. I thought we were done for. And OT 2, and there we go. Duclair with the OT winner from the boards. It looked like. I can't believe we won that game. So we're up 2-0 now on the Preds. Won both those games in Chicago. Let's see now if we can go to Smashville and keep this going. Really good start here for the playoffs. Third game, first period, Granlund gets one. Big second period, though, for the Preds. They have 3 goals. Nisimov gets one, though, to keep it close. And Yossi gets one. I was hoping maybe we could have tied it there in the third, but that's okay. We kind of stole a win in the last game, so they caught us there and beat us in the third. Hopefully here, though, game 4, we can take the lead. Obviously, if we lose this one, it's going to be all tied up. I think the AHL team's also in the playoffs right now. Let's see here. Fisher, Fiala each score. Keith, though, we're within 1, and nothing in the third. Geez, really need to start scoring in the third because we have opportunities there, but need to make something happen. Actually, the AHL team, even though they had 50 wins this year, knocked in the first round of the playoffs. That's kind of funny, but I really don't care if the AHL wins or not. I just care whether or not my AHL players are doing good and growing in overall. Game number 5 now. Let's take control of this series. There we go, Patty Kane. Wow, what a second period. So 6 total goals, 4 for them, 2 for us. They now have the lead by 1. That's insane. And what a third period. We get 5 goals in the third period. What the hell is happening? Connor, Schmaltz, Kane, Staal, and Granlund. So they got 4 in the second, and we were like, you know what, we'll top that. We get 5 in the third. This is looking like the Boston-Toronto Game 7 from a few nights ago. Alrighty, so we have the 1-game series lead now. Just need 1 win here in one of the next 2 games to move on to the semifinals. Hopefully we can get it. Maybe we can get a win in Smashville. We were pretty unsuccessful there, games 3 and 4. Two goals, though, in the first period. Kane there and Johansson, so we're up 1. And there we go, Kane and Sharp. Big 5-1 win in game 6. Moving on now to the semis. So looking at the Ducks lineup now, chances are it's the same. Actually, they added Josh Bailey. Never mind. Seems like the Ducks always make a splash. I know the one time they added Tavares, which was insane. And I think we signed him out of free agency for free. They also have Hickey here, so they made some trade with the Islanders. Gibson, though, still their starting goaltender. So this should be a good series. Hopefully we can win it. So game number 1, period 1, no score. Kessler there gets the first goal of the series. And then the Ducks go off in the third period. Okay, so down 1-0. We can still come back, though. I'm wondering, too, did we have home ice there? We did have home ice. Okay, so that's not good to lose at home. Hopefully can answer back here in the second game. Looks like they also won their first series in 6. So second game, first period, Anisimov gets 1. Then Schmaltz, and there you go, Schmaltz again. So Crawford with the shutout, that's good to see. Tying the series up in the second game. Definitely did not want to go down 2-0. I seen a stat on Twitter. It's something like 86% of the time a team goes up 2-0, they pull out the win. Wonder what it's like in NHL 18 if that's the same. Game number 3, nothing again in the first. Big second period, we each get 2 goals. And there we go, Yuri Hudler with the game winner. How's he scoring from that angle? Whenever I see the goals like in the game recap, I just don't get it. Like, they'll be in the corner, they'll be on the wide board, they'll be like outside the blue line. Somehow, though, they get it done, I guess, in the 20-minute simulated period. So game number 4 now. Let's see if we can take a big lead in this series. And there we go. Kovalchuk with 2. Nothing in the second. And Staal gets 1. That's all we need. And we win that one as well. So 3-1 series lead now. We're looking very, very good. Hopefully we can just win one of these next 3 games here and move on to the conference final. That would be amazing. Like I was saying at the beginning of the season, I thought this team might make the playoffs, might miss. So I'm very happy with how they've done already. Nothing in the first period there. Chimera gets 1. And look at that. Nisimov and Granlund answered back. Looks like Granlund was right in the crease there for his goal. So we're now moving on to the conference final. And in the conference final, guys, we're matched up with Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers. They actually have Camilleri and Lucic there playing on his wing on the first line. Puljujarvi, Draisaitl, and Nuge with Nuge at the wing on the second line. So definitely kind of strange here how they have the lineup going. But, I mean, maybe it's worked for them if they're in the conference final. Clefbaum's now in 87. I'm pretty sure he's in 84. So he's grown a ton. I just remember, too, we traded them Murphy for Yamamoto. So we definitely can't let Edmonton beat us here. Talbot there's an 83. We have Crawford who's an 88. So hopefully the goalie is kind of like the difference maker. And here we go, guys. First game. We actually have home ice again. So that's good to see. And first period there, Duclair and Kajula each score. What a second period. 2 for them. We get 4. Schmaltz, Kovalchuk, and Nisimov, and Sharp. And then Strome gets 1, but it's not enough. We hold on there for a 5-4 win. Love winning the first game. It's always good to start out on the right foot, I guess. So game number 2 now, we can really put a hold on this series if we can win this one. Not let Edmonton back in it. So first period here, Kovalchuk scores. Another big second period. They get 3 to actually tie it up. Staal and Sharp each score for us. Camilleri there gets the game winner in the third. Okay, so they did tie it there, the series 1-1. Hopefully we can go into Edmonton now and take back control. Game 3, 1-1, Staal McDavid. Lucic and Strome score there in the second. We need a big third. And Draisaitl there from the sideboard. So we're now down in the series. Edmonton with back-to-back wins. Hopefully that we can tie it up here. If not, I have faith. The Chicago teams look very good. So here we go, game number 4. This is big. 2 goals in the first, Duclair and Connor. Oh man, Kovalchuk gets 1, but they get 3 in the second, so it's all tied. And now we're going to OT. Draisaitl and Kane each score. Come on. There we go. Kovalchuk, the OT winner. Oh, there we go. Hopefully you guys chose Kovalchuk there for the Bucci OT challenge. Okay, so game number 5 now. Series is all tied up 2-2. This one is a close one. The winner goes on to the Stanley Cup Final. We need to beat that team. Game 5, first period, nothing. Second period, that's not good. 3 goals down, and Lucic there just puts it away. Okay, so I need to win 2 in a row here to move on to the Stanley Cup Final. I have faith. I think this team can pull it off. We just need the big boys to show up. Kane, Keith, I guess Granlund now. Come on. Game number 6. Kovalchuk scores 1 there. Staal and Kane each get 1. Cassian. So we're up 3-1, and we hold on. I was a little scared there when I seen 2 goals from Edmonton, but Arruda and Duclair each scored. So 5-3 win there. Game number 6, forcing the Game 7. All right, this is it. This is what you play for. 1 game. Winner moves on to the Stanley Cup Final. Represents the Western Conference. Come on. Players, you gotta show up here. Our first period, we're down 1. Clefbaum got 1. There we go. Second period, Kovalchuk and Staal each score. Look at the goals. So weird. And third period, please. Oh man, this is going to OT. Lucic, Kajula scored for them. Schmaltz for us. We need 8 OT hero here. Nothing in the first OT. Connor Murphy, the guy we traded, puts it away for them and stops us from going to the Cup Final. That is just so poetic. And the draft fly results just came in. Columbus is actually picking first overall. Imagine Columbus getting Dallin, a top 4 of Werenski, Jones, Murray, Dallin. That's ridiculous. New Jersey there 2, Buffalo 3. Detroit never gets lucky there with the lottery. So hopefully we can get somebody good with our pick. And as you guys can see there, the Washington Capitals were the Stanley Cup winners. Finally got over that, second round hump. Also, Kovalchuk there was actually our playoff leading scorer, 20 points in 18 games. So we'll take a look at the rest of the awards here as well as the playoff tree before getting to the draft. President's Trophy, you already know. Same with Washington going over Edmonton. Player awards there. Taylor Hall with the Hart. I honestly think he deserves it this year. A lot of people want McKinnon. I like Hall, and I feel like he just deserves it slightly more than McKinnon because the rest of his team isn't quite as good. Carlson there with the James Norris. Honestly, he had an awesome year in real life this year too. Like, so many points. Hischier with the Calder. That's definitely going to go to Barzell, though. Vesna, Martin Jones, and the William M. Jennings. Gudas, Bill Masterson. Sportsmanship and stuff. I don't know if you can get that with suspensions. Staal there with the Selke. Hall also got the Ted Lindsay, and then Ovi there, Maurice Richard. Quick look here at the AHL awards. Hinostroza got most points in the AHL. That's sick. I didn't even realize that. I just looked at our team's points. We'll see if he actually got another award. Maybe he got MVP. Doesn't look like it though. He got the most points, but didn't get the MVP, I guess. And we did win we actually won the regular season, our AHL team. That's awesome. Our AHL team was actually pretty bad until we made a bunch of trades, sent guys down. And obviously we won the division if we won the regular season. Unfortunately, got pounced in the first round of the playoff. And quick look here at the NHL playoff tree. Edmonton there going 7 games with Vegas, then beating Vancouver in 5, us in 7, and then the Capitals there, obviously they lost 2 in 5. Can't believe the Canucks actually made the playoffs. And then Washington swept Philly. Of course, they had to play Penguins, but they actually beat them 4-1. In real life, they're down 1, so maybe they'll win 4 straight. I doubt it, though. And then they beat Boston there in 6 before beating the Oilers. So it could happen in real life. I mean, they could even play Boston in the conference final, but I don't see it. All right, guys, so our first round pick is pick number 17. Hopefully, there's still somebody decent available. Usually, there's some medium top 6 that we can get here. Which is not too bad, I guess, for a late first rounder. So I was looking at the players here, guys, and I was going to take McIsaac as he's exact top 4, and I'm pretty sure he has medium top 4D potential, which is pretty good for a, late first round pick. But then I noticed that Noah Dobson is still available. He has high top 4D potential, so I don't know. I feel like the other computer's messed up. Yeah, there we go. High top 4D. For pick number 17, that's a steal. Also, guys, I want to show you how the beginning of the draft went. So Dallin, obviously, first overall. Svechnikov here went second. Kachuk went third, only a 75. So for some reason, he grows different amounts during the regular season. I think it's because he has an early birthday. He only got to a 75 there. Zadina went fourth, so Zadina should have went third, really. Hughes there 5, Wallstrom 6, Bouchard 7, Farabee 8. Where is Volino 9? Bachfist went 10. Oh, so somebody messed up there. Arizona took Farabee over Volino and Bachfist. Really messed up, honestly. Hayton there, Kupari, Lundstrom, Smith, Kovanov. So, I mean, the rest of the teams had pretty solid picks. And I'm getting an offer right now from Detroit. They want to give me Nyquist for Yamamoto and a third. Honestly, though, Nyquist could be a free agent next season. And I think Yamamoto grows a lot, so I'm just going to hold on to him. Another team here wants Yamamoto. Islanders offering me Eberle, but I'm going to say no. I feel like I could get similar players in free agency for free. Hold on to my prospect. So our next pick actually isn't until pick number 28 in the 3rd round. Hopefully we can get somebody good here. There should still be like a few solid prospects floating around. Popovich here I know has low top 6, so for a late 3rd rounder, I think that's pretty solid. And our next pick, guys, is the 6th pick in the 4th round, 99th overall. And Caught here, I think is how you say his name. Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong. He has low elite. I don't know how he fell to the 4th round, but other GMs and scouts really just need to get better, I think. And we've got another 4th round pick now, guys, and Noel is still available, so we are cleaning up this draft. 5th round now, going to take a chance on this Hillis guy. Our scouts say medium top 6. This is the first one. I really don't know what's going to happen. And medium bottom 6. Alright, so not terrible, but also not great. And with our next pick here, guys, I'm going to take Sadikov. I'm pretty sure he's computer generated, but he's also been good before, I believe. I'm not sure how good. Medium fringe. Yeah, that's not too bad for a 5th round pick. That was actually our last pick of the draft. Didn't even realize that. Honestly, though, very happy with how that went. Alright, guys, we're at the re-sign phase. As you can see, we have 17.3 million in cap space, and a bunch of our players actually grew. Kane here by 1. Keith actually dropped by 1. Then Granlund, Staal, Kovalchuk, Connor, they all grew by 1. Seabrook also dropped by 1. I had a feeling that might happen. Unfortunately, though, Seabrook's contract's just too bad to move. So, the top 3 signers there are all locked up. Hayden, obviously, is young. Decent potential. Want to keep him. Seems like he kind of wants a bit much, but maybe $1 million for 2 years. Like, he could be in the AHL. Most likely will be unless he grows this summer. Sharp probably should have retired. He dropped. I'm just going to let him go. He's a 77, not worth keeping. The rest of the guys there are all already signed. Left wing here would love to keep Kovalchuk. He had a really good year. Doesn't look like he wants to sign with us, though. He grew by 1. 2 years. I'll give him 4.5. Says doesn't want an extension, so usually like they won't sign unless you really overpay. Toulouse there, I'm fine letting go. Right wingers here, let's see. Duclair needs a new deal. He's more of a 4th liner. He wants 3.3s, 80 overall. Yeah, that's not worth it, so we're just going to qualify him. Hudler also dropped to a 79, going to let him go. The rest of the guys are just AHLers who I'm just going to give qualifying offers on. Defense here, Morrissey, obviously want to lock him up. 3.9 for 81. What is this? Okay, we'll try 2 years here at 2.5. I think that makes a lot more sense. Get him at like what he's actually worth right now. And one thing I noticed that I didn't notice before, which kind of makes me mad, Ruda and Gustafsson actually had extensions, so I thought they were going to be done with them after this year. Apparently not. So Ruda went from like making a 900K to 2.3. Gustafsson's making 1.2. We can bury most of his contract, but that's not the case for Ruda. So definitely want to try and trade him. I could buy both or one of them out, but I think we could definitely probably trade them. I don't know. I'm going to basically risk it. Friends in 77 now. I'm going to let him go. Roosevelt also should have retired, letting him go. And I think the rest of the guys are just AHL or whatever and locked up. And then the goalie situation also doesn't need to be handled. So, decent amount of contract spots, decent amount of cap space. Hopefully, there's some decent free agents. Throughout the free agency period here, everyone actually accepted our offers. Kovalchuk rejected the initial one, ended up offering him $5 million for 1 year, which he said yes to. So top free agent here is David Perron, 85 overall. So Kovalchuk's 1 overall below. We got him for $5 million, not too bad a deal. Vanek there, Daniel Sedin, Nick Ritchie. Anaheim can never afford to sign him, so maybe we could sweep in. Obviously, I don't think we have the picks, but we could like make a trade. Green there, maybe we could do that. Camilleri, Kemp's, he's always there too. Montour as well. So Anaheim, when they kind of screw themselves when they go and make that big trade. So I don't know, like, really, if I'm going to sign any of these guys. Let's just check goalies here out of curiosity. See if anyone good's available. Connor Hellebuck, Winnipeg. Maybe I screwed them there, trading them Brandon Saad. They can't afford to sign him. He's never been available in free agency. That's hilarious. Speaking of goalies, guys, I think one thing that could help us is a legit backup. Our backup's a 78, so I'm going to try and sign Halak here, who's an 82. He wants 1.7 for 2 years. So, I mean, I'm pretty fine giving him this. So, look at the free agent schedules again, guys, and I still can't believe how much some of these guys are asking for, especially when you look at not only their overall, but also their age. It just doesn't make sense. The only guy I think I might make an offer on here, Tobias Ryder here, is 25, 79 overall with medium top 9. So, if we could get him for the right price, 1 year for $2 million, if he grows to like an 80, I think that's not too bad of a signing, especially with his potential. Also, Case here's an RFA, but he wants 1.3. We could offer him, I think, 1.2, or no, 1.175. And no picks required. Maybe the Ducks are so up against the cap that they can't match this. As you can see here, Tobias Ryder accepted our offer. Halak, though, rejected, decided to go with the Rangers instead. So I'm going to try signing Carter Hutton here to be the backup. Now, his role is a starter, but hopefully that doesn't matter too much. So I'm going to give him more money as he has an 83. 2.2 there for 3 years, I think is pretty fair. And Carter Hutton actually accepted our offer, so that worked out better than signing Halak. That's awesome. Alright guys, right now I'm trying to get Schmaltz from the St. Louis Blues. As always, he's on the block because they can't afford him. Offering them Gustafsson, who I want to get rid of his contract, along with a second in 2019. Schmaltz should grow, he's a 78. I think they'll say yes for this. I mean, he's on the block. Yeah, I figured they would say yes to that. Alright guys, right now I'm trying to make another trade for defenseman in Hayden Fleury. He'll actually complete the bottom pair. 22.79, low elite. Offering them Ruda, who just is making too much money for 78. Popwich here, we just drafted, pretty solid prospect. And then Galvas there in the 2/7, so basically just hopefully like a cherry on top to get this to go through. Let's see what Carolina says. Trade rejected. Okay, maybe if instead of the 2/7 I add a third, could do a third in 2020, which they want. They'll say yes to this. Still saying no. Really, they want everything too. I'll give them a 2019 fourth, or no. Do a 2020 fourth because we're never going to use that pick. Come on. There we go. Now this is a decent offer from Vancouver. They want to give me Tanev for a first and Noel, but honestly I don't mind our defense, so I'm still going to just keep the team as is and see if any of our prospects grow a bit more and gain more value. And I just got a pretty interesting offer from the Islanders. They want to give me Lee and Boychuk for a first and Noel. Now, I'm not really interested in Boychuk, but I am interested in Anders Lee for the right price. He's making not too much money, 83 overall. Decent defensive stats. I feel like he'd be a solid third line left winger for us. So let's take off Boychuk, and let's take off Noel, I guess. We could just trade the first straight up potentially for Lee, which I wouldn't mind. Do we still have enough picks in 2019 if we do this? We're basically going all in at this point, which I mean we have to. Our team is stacked, and yeah, we'd still have 5 picks. I wonder, would they do the first straight up for Lee? And they do. Okay, that's not a bad deal. I had some extra contract spots, guys, so I decided to make an offer on Kurdile and Antipin here. Who both are still unsigned. I figured they could just be decent AHLers. Also, I was looking at the goalies, and there's actually a pretty solid goalie available. Right here, Stezka, 21.73, medium backup. But I mean, that's pretty high rating for that young of a player, especially for a goalie. They're usually like 50s, so gonna make him an offer. He could be a solid AHL goalie as well. So after the summer, here's a look at the team going into the second season. I'm really excited to see how they play. The first line stayed the same, but Granlund's now an 87. The second line there is also the same. I think Staal went up though to an 86. Third line there is now Lee, Anisimov, and Schmaltz. And then fourth line is Duclair, Hayden, and Ryder. Defense there looks a lot better now. Keith, Spurgeon, Seabrook, Morrissey, Fleury, and Schmaltz. Fleury actually grew as well. +2. Same goes for Schmaltz. And then goaltending there, we have a better backup now in Hutton. So, I mean, the team should just do even better. And in regards to the AHL team, they have a sick first line here. Yurko, Yamamoto, and Hinostroza. Hinostroza would have been on the NHL team, but I forgot Duclair still wasn't signed. So he now gets to rip it up in the AHL with Yamamoto and Yurko. Really hoping playing with 2 solid wingers. Yamamoto just grows a ton, puts up like 100 points or something in the AHL. Defense there is not too bad either, you know, some 70s. And then goalies there, we actually have a 78 starter now in Forsberg with a 73 backup. So honestly, I could see this team winning the Calder. Hopefully both teams make the playoffs, have good seasons. We'll start the sim now. Just got this trade offer from St. Louis. They want to give me Miku Koivu, Bertuzzo, a 5th and a 6th for Yamamoto and a 4th. So apparently Minnesota was just tanking last year. They traded away like half their team, but our forward group's more than good enough, and I want to keep Yamamoto, so I'm going to say no. Also, as you guys can see here, we're killing it right now. 12-4-1 here to start the season. Hopefully this can keep up. Alright guys, I just got a huge trade offer from the Minnesota Wild. They're offering me Suter and Tootin for Dobson and Yamamoto. I don't think I'm going to take this just because that's our 2 best prospects. Suter's making a ton of money, plus he's older. He's 88 overall though. The thing is, he's a lefty, so that means him or Keith would move down to the second pair, or I guess they'd play together, both left-handed. I don't know, if I'm combining Dobson and Yamamoto, I feel like I could get a 90. Dobson's got so much value, same with Yamamoto. Plus I'd have to take on Tootin. I'm gonna say no, but it is good to know like we can get a sick player if we combine those 2 guys. And we're now at the trade deadline, guys, and our team is killing it. 39, 15, and 7. Like, that is insane. I'm trying to actually add up how many points that is. Based on wins alone, it's 78. So we have 85 points at the deadline. That is ridiculous. We should have a huge lead on the division. Only 11 points on the Blues there, but I mean, it still is a lot, I guess, at the deadline. So hopefully here we can add a couple pieces. We can actually only make 2 trades and just make our team even more stacked. Kane there leading in points, just under a point per game. So I am very excited. So I was looking through teams, and I seen that the Dallas Stars have Tyler Seguin on the trading block, No idea why. Like, his contract is up, but they can afford to re-sign him. I guess they want to see what they can get. 90 overall. Imagine him and Patrick Kane on the first line. Like, him and Ben is one thing. Him and Kane would be so ridiculous. So I'm offering them Dobson, who has a ton of value, as he's a high top 4D potential prospect. Andrews Lee, I was like trying to figure out what the roster would look like, and he would probably end up on the 4th line. He's also a pending UFA, so there's a good chance he might not want to re-sign with us, so might as well trade him here with some value. Osterley they want, even though he's an AHL D-man. Sadakov's a fringe star potential goalie, decent amount of potential, and then the 7th round pick's just there to hopefully make them say yes. The value looks pretty even. They want a lot of this. Sagan's on the block. I think this might go through. Trade rejected. They said I was quite far off. Okay, so maybe I can add a, dang, I guess the best I can do is a 4th in 2019 for draft picks. They said I was quite far off, but you never know. Okay, yeah, they're still saying no to that, so I'm going to take off the 4th. I seen that they wanted Noel. He was one of the guys we just drafted. Didn't really want to trade him, but for Tyler Sagan, I'm willing to give him up. I think this has to get the deal done. There we go. We got Tyler Sagan. That's unreal. Alright, guys, so I was going through some more teams, and look at this. Ottawa has both Erik Karlsson and Matt Duchene on the trade block. I figured I had to try and make a trade here. So I'm going to offer them Granlund. Was our first line center. Now we have Sagan, so we could make a trade here. And we're also getting back Duchene, so not too huge of a loss. Spurgeon, obviously, Karlsson is so much better than. I think he's like 10 overall higher or 9 overall higher. First rounder 2020, and then Yamamoto, obviously, is a sick prospect. But, I mean, if it gets us Erik Karlsson and Matt Duchene, I think it's worth it. The 7th there is so we still have 4 picks in 2020. Sexton just there for the roster spot. The value looks to be about equal. This would be the craziest trade deadline ever. Adding Sagan, Karlsson, and Matt Duchene. Like, the value's equal. I think this might do it. Let's try it. Trade rejected. It sounds like they thought we were pretty close, though. I don't know what else I'd really be willing to give them. Because, like, I guess I could give them that Kaut guy. Like, I don't know. This is basically, we're going all out here at this point. So, screw it. Yeah, we're going all out. We're trying to win the Stanley Cup this year. Come on. That gets it done. That was the most aggressive trade I think I've ever made. That's the 5 trades for the year. So we were ultra aggressive there at the trade deadline. Really hoping it pays off. First line's now Staal, Sagan, and Kane. I mean, that's so nasty. Second line here, DeBrincat, Duchene, and Kovalchuk. Connor, Anisimov, and Schmaltz on the 3rd line with Duclair, Hayden, and Ryder on the 4th. And then defense there, you have Keith and Karlsson paired up. Seabrook, Morrissey, Fleury, and Schmaltz. And of course, Crawford is still in net. So, I mean, I don't know. We've added 2 superstars plus an all-star, I guess, in Duchene. Now, we did trade away a lot of pieces, but I think it was definitely an upgrade, and excited to see if we can keep winning. And one other thing I wanted to show you guys, if we ever go to OT, I feel so bad for the team we're playing. Sagan, Kane, and Karlsson. I don't know how you stop that. The regular season just ended, guys. We finished the record of 55, 19, and 8, so a 118-point season. AHL team there also did very good. 50, 26, and 6. Maybe even a President's Trophy, honestly. Should have won the division. We did. We destroyed the division, and Patty Kane there. 87 points in 82 games. So I ended up finishing with over a point per game after we made that trade for Tyler Sagan and Erik Karlsson, I guess, too. I mean, we have like 3 legitimate superstars on the team now. It's so amazing. So there's Kane, Sagan 79, Karlsson 72, all in a row. Kovalchuk even still put up 64. Staal has 59. Schmaltz there 58, so he should grow. Like, he's killing it. Same with Connor. We got to grow more than that. DeBrincat at 50. Same with Duchene. Anisimov almost had it. I'm so glad like this team is just killing it. I'll take a look here and see. I think Kane had to be top 15 or whatever with 87, and he was 5th there, just behind Palat, who went off, I guess. McDavid, Kucherov, Stamkos. Okay, so yeah, just the top line for Tampa Bay is honestly too much. William Karlsson there is actually pretty high up. Got a more assists this year than goals. So that's different for him. Tavares, obviously, stay with the Islanders. We know that. Sagan was also actually pretty high. Same with Sam Reinhart there. That's kind of surprising. And so we already know we won the division. Just going to check now and see where we finished in the entire NHL. Oh, wow. 2 points behind Tampa, who won the Presidents. Like, Tampa is so good. Maybe that'll be the Stanley Cup Final. That'd be a pretty good one, I think, with how stacked these teams are now. And then the Islanders actually last in the whole NHL. Imagine that. Tavares stays and they get last. He'd be pissed. Alright, guys, so in the first round of the playoffs, we're actually matched up with the Winnipeg Jets. I have a couple of their former players, Connor Morrissey. They have Saad, who's now an 86. And his potential actually went from medium elite to high elite. That's kind of crazy. So their top 6 here is pretty nasty. Third line's not too bad. Same with the 4th line. Defense, Buffalo and Trouba's a sick top pair, so it's not too bad either. And then goalies here, though. Comrie's their starter, so that means that either they traded Hellebuck, I'm not sure, or they couldn't sign him and he just sat out the year, but that's kind of crazy. Hopefully the fact that we have such a better goaltender is kind of the difference maker. So here we go, guys. Game 1. We're actually down 1 there. Little and Scheifele score. Staal gets 1, though. Carlson, there we go, 2-2. And then Buffalo, though, gets the game winner for them. So down 1-0 early. Like, Winnipeg Jets are so good in this game. Usually you'll match up with them, at least in the second round. The fact that we have to get through them in the first round is going to be tough. Then we have to play Tampa in the Stanley Cup Final, probably. Tough road to the Cup, but I think, this team, we have some superstars. DeBrincat and Schmaltz, there we go. Kane, Duclair, Perreault for them. So big 4-1 win there to tie the series up. Hopefully that first game, the boys rally back here. Heading to Winnipeg now. They're going to be doing the whiteout for sure, but hopefully it doesn't affect us too much. I'd love to take the series lead. First period, 1-1, Ryder, Scheifele. Second period, nothing. And third period, Wheeler and Scheifele. DeBrincat gets 1, but it's not enough. So down 2-1 now. Hopefully we can tie it up again here. Game number 4 in Winnipeg. So here we go, first period, game 4, down 2-1. Goligoski, Wheeler. I actually didn't even realize they traded for Goligoski, signed him, whatever. Schmaltz and Sagan, 2 goals in the second. We're up by a goal. And then there we go, DeBrincat scores 2. We hold on there. Win 5-3. So series is all tied up again. Seems to be a very, very good first round series. Which is kind of crazy too, because that means Winnipeg was a wild card team if we won the West. And they're putting up a crazy fight here. Game 5 back in Chicago. Down 1 early. Roslovich for them. Duchesne, though, gets 1. Going to OT. Connor and Little each score. Come on. And there we go. Sagan OT winner. That's why we traded for him at the deadline. Come on. Our team, we made the trade for Carlson. Duchesne honestly forgot for a few minutes there that we had Tyler Sagan. So we're up 3-2 now in the series lead. Just have to win one of the next 2. Move on to the semifinal. Hopefully can get it done here. Nothing in the first. Little for them in the second. There we go. Hayden and Sagan. They're going to make this a tie game. Ehlers for them. Going back to OT. And there we go. Duchesne with the OT winner. He's happy to be in the playoffs again after that horrible season with Ottawa. So we're now playing the Colorado Avalanche here in the second round of the playoffs. They have Daniel Sedin on the team with McKinnon and Yakupov as the first line. Quite a strange first line. Landeskog, Kerfoot, Rantanen on the second. Decent third and fourth lines there. Defense here, Zadorov, Barry, Johnson, Martinez. So pretty solid top 4. And then in net here, they have Connor Hellebuck. So Winnipeg traded him to the Colorado Avalanche. He's a 90 now. I don't know what the return was, though. It must have just been a bunch of first-round picks because they still have McKinnon, Rantanen, and Landeskog. I don't really notice anyone gone. Barry, I really wonder what that trade was. Or was it did they give him a qualifying offer? Gave up the 3 first-round picks? That would have been insane. Hopefully we can make it by them now. So game number 1 here, guys. Need a hot start. There we go. Tyler Sagan gets 1. Patty Kane gets 1. And then Sagan and Kovalchuk each get a couple more. So they seem to know how to score in Hellebuck. That's good. And then Crawford there with the shutout. Big first game for us in Chicago. Hopefully here we can get back-to-back wins. I feel like we're playing some pretty tough teams here early on in the playoffs. So next game, Rantanen and Duchesne each score. Nothing in the second. And then Kovalchuk there with the OT winner. I think this is the first time I've actually held on to Kovalchuk the entire time. Usually I end up losing him to free agency. And he's playing very well for us. This is actually the downgraded Kovalchuk. Going to Colorado now. Would love to just keep it up here. 6-1 through 2 games. First period, nothing. Second period, Schmaltz and Rantanen each score. And McKinnon there gets the game winner in the third period. So you kind of knew Colorado was going to get one. Would love, though, a game 4 win. I mean, still a 2-1 loss there. We're still staying in it. Can definitely win one here. An away game would be huge for us. So here we go. First period. And that's when... I thought we had 3 goals. So 2-2, Joss Sedin, Duchesne, Schmaltz. We need to answer back in the third. And only 1 goal. So tied up 2-2. Colorado with a couple big back-to-back home wins. Luckily for us, still going back to Chicago now. Hopefully we can get one of our own. Just noticed too, the AHL team lost in the first round of the playoffs, I guess. I thought they won the first round. Apparently, though, they won the first 2, then got reverse swept there. So here we go, game 5. This is not looking good. All right, there we go. Got 1 goal. Come on. And then just 1 short. So... talked about a reverse sweep. We're now down 3-2 in the series. I'm a little scared, I'm not going to lie. I think I was mentioning earlier how if a team goes up in the playoffs 2-0, they have an 82% chance to win the series. Hopefully that holds true here for us. So first period, game 6, nothing. Maroon and Anisimov each score. Nothing in the third. Come on, we need an OT hero. And there we go, Tyler Sagan forced the game 7 in Chicago. That's where we want to play. Won that first game 4-0. Need another performance like that. Alright, so here we go, guys. Game 7. Winner moves on to the conference final. Come on. First period. There we go. Kane, Kovalchuk to Brinkat. 3-0 lead. 4-1 after 2. Carlson, McKinnon each score. And then there we go. Tobias Ryder from the corner. 5-1 win. Back-to-back. I was honestly so worried there after we lost 3 straight, but the boys rallied. And now we're playing the Ducks here in the conference final. So I'm actually really surprised to see the Ducks here. Obviously, we have a bit of an idea what their team looks like from last season when we met them in the playoffs, but Nick Ritchie, they never signed. He sat the whole year. Same goes for Montour. You can see he's not here. I guess it's probably because they traded for Muzzin or whatever, and that caused them not to have enough money. Plus, at the trade deadline, they had Gibson on the block, even though he's an 89, 25-year-old goalie. But they're here, so hopefully we can take him out. So game number 1 here. Would love to have another good start against the Ducks. Come on. Sagan there on Gibson. Look at... Oh, I don't know why. I thought those were our goals. Down 3-2, so we can still come back in the third. Unfortunately, no goals there in the third. Wow. When it like blurs it out there for a couple seconds, I thought, I don't know, the Duck yellow is our yellow. So lost the first game 3-2. That's okay. Still a lot of hockey left to play. Can definitely come back in this one. Came back in the last series when we were down 3-2. Game number 2 here. We need to win this one, though. And that's what I want. 3 goals in the first. They get, though, 2 in the second. It's all tied up. There we go, though. Kane, Morrissey answered back. Both their shots from the point. Okay, so 1-1. Series is tied. Looks like the Ducks are not going to go down without a fight. Even though I was, chirping some of their GM moves, I guess. They're a pretty good team here. So, game number 3. If we can go to Anaheim and get a win, that'd be huge. Nothing in the first. There we go. Kyle Connor. And Patty Kane there. Looks like that was probably an empty netter. Gives us the 2-0 win. So, 2-1 series lead now. I like what I'm seeing. The boys rallied back after that game 1 loss. If we could win back-to-back in Anaheim, that would really give us a good chance of winning this series. And that's not a good first period. Wow. Yeah, that's... we scored 1 in each of the next period. The Ducks scored 5 in the first. Don't have to score again the rest of the game. They just coasted to a win. Okay. So, it's now just a best-of-3 series, and we get 2 home games. I like those odds. Hopefully here we can win in Chicago and only have to win one of the next 2. Here you go, first period. 2-0. Or, man, I keep thinking the Duck logo is our logo. 1-1. Now it's 3-2, though. Duchesne, Kane, Fowler for them. And nothing in the third. Crawford had a huge third period. Shutting the door. There we go. So, 1 game away now from the Stanley Cup Final. If we could do it in Anaheim, that'd make me, less worried here. But if not, can definitely do it in Game 7. Here we go. First period, nothing. Second, they get a goal from Andreoff. And third period, Sagan got 1, but Perry. So, Game 7 now, come on. So here we go, guys. Game number 7. Winner moves on to the Stanley Cup Final. We need this. Come on. First period. 1-1. Covey, Perry each score. There we go. DeBrincat in the second. Nothing in the third. We're moving on to the Stanley Cup Final. Let's go. And in the Stanley Cup Final, we get the Pittsburgh Penguins. They didn't win the Cup last year, and already they're back in the Stanley Cup Final. 12-3 record through 3 rounds. Are you kidding me? Haven't gone further than Game 5. Or maybe even 2 sweeps in like 1 Game 7 series. That's insane. Looking at the stats here, Pittsburgh's 95, 91, 96. So 1 worse offense, 3 worse D. 5 better goaltending, though. I'm surprised their goaltending is that high. Crawford's an 88. So is Murray. Murray must be like an absolute beast right now. That's the only thing that makes sense. Or they signed an amazing backup. We'll take a look here at that team. First line there. Second line's Malkin basically carrying it. Third line's pretty solid. Fourth line, ours is better. Defense, they have Letang and not much else. So maybe that will be where we can kind of get by. Murray's a 91. Jerry 82 is pretty solid backup. Okay, so yeah. I mean, I like our odds here. I like our team better. Carlson's better than Letang. Sagan's not better than Crosby or Malkin, but we do have more depth at forward, I think, slightly. Defense, we're definitely better, and Crawford's not much worse than Murray, so we definitely have a chance here in this series. Anything can happen. Come on. We got to take out Pittsburgh here. Game 1. It's 1-1 game. Kane gets 1 for us. And the third period there, going to OT. Carlson, Hornqvist each score. And, Aston Reese. Come on. Again, it's like they have a yellowish logo, so when it's blurred, I thought we actually had the OT winner. Okay, so we lost the first game. That was actually at home too, so that's not good, but a lot of hockey left here. Can still make this comeback happen. Nothing in the first of the game, or game 2. There we go. Kane, Kobe scoring period 2. Are you kidding me? Gensel, Hornqvist tie it. This team is so good. We're now down 2-0. I don't get it. Like, 2 back-to-back OTs and back-to-back 3-2 OT losses. Okay, so Maybe we can go to Pittsburgh here. Like, 2 really close games. We got to get one eventually. Russ scores for them. Kane and Kessel score. Sprong scores. Okay, so we need a miracle right now. A reverse sweep on the Penguins, who are 15-3 so far through the playoffs. It's probably not going to happen, but you never know. So here we go, guys. Game number 4. Connor there, keeping our hopes alive. Same with Schmaltz. Okay, so we win 1. We don't get swept in the Stanley Cup Final. That would have been so embarrassing. Okay, so got to win 3 straight games here. I mean, our team is stacked. We can do it. It's just Pittsburgh's also stacked, so it's going to be very tough to accomplish that. Game 5. Kane gets 1. There we go, DeBrincat. And there we go, Kovalchuk. So 3-0. Is that back-to-back? Is that... I'm not even going to say it, but that's back-to-back. You guys can see the scores there. Let's keep rolling here. We figured something out. We can tie the series if we win it here. Force that Game 7 in Chicago. Let's go. Hayden gets 1. Look at this. Kovalchuk, Karlsson, Sagan. Do you believe? Duclair. Gensel finally scores 1 for the Penguins. Crawford there went 8 periods without a goal. That's insane. And 5-1 win. We're forcing a Game 7. I honestly can't believe this. Bringing it back to Chicago. This could be a miracle in the making. So here you go, guys. Game 7, Stanley Cup Final. This is where heroes are born. Please, we need this. First period in Chicago. 1-1. Kessel and Hayden each score. Second period. Okay, there we go. DeBrincat with 2. Kessel with 1. 3-2 series lead. Resume simulation here. We have the 1-goal lead. We need to hold on to this. Imagine a reverse sweep in the Stanley Cup Final. Come on, kill this penalty kill. There we go. Eric Staal there makes it 4-2. 10 minutes to go now. Come on, guys. Hold on to this. How epic would this be? 6 minutes, 5.5, 4.5. Come on. 3 minutes, minute and a half, 47 seconds left. There's now 5 seconds left here. Hornqvist on the puck. Shoots it wide. 2-1. And there we go. Crawford with the save. Chicago Blackhawks are Stanley Cup champions again. What is that? Like the 4th cup in 10 years, I think this would make it. If my math's right on that. 4th cup in... Yeah, I think 4th cup in 10 years. So not too bad. Not quite as good as 3 and 6, but still pretty impressive. And the roster we put together, too. Kind of like an all-star team. At least if it was a 3-on-3 game, it definitely would be an all-star team. So happy we were able to get it done. I think we definitely could have re-signed everybody, though. We still had like $7 million in salary cap space. Worst case, would have bought out Seabrook and Nisimov. Anyone we would have had to make sure we could have kept Sagan, Kane, and Karlsson. And here we go, guys. Corey Crawford is the Conn Smythe winner. I think that makes sense. He put up like an 8-period goalless streak for us to help the reverse sweep. And he also had like crazy other series where he had barely any goals let in. So he was huge for us. And I think Duncan Keith is now the captain, by the way. That Taves has been traded. But I still stand by that trade because we actually ended up flipping Jonathan Taves for Granlund and Spurgeon. Then we flipped Spurgeon and Granlund for Karlsson and Duchesne. So we got a lot out of Jonathan Taves, and he helped bring a Stanley Cup back to Chicago, so it makes sense here. And as you can see there, Duncan Keith is just going to get the cup. This would definitely be an interesting sight for sure, though. I'm thinking about it now. If Chicago wins another cup with Keith still on the team, but Taves not on the team, I don't see it happening, to be honest. Even though Taves is definitely overpaid, in my opinion, I think they're just kind of going to keep that core. At least like Taves, Kane, Keith, and yeah, I think they could trade Crawford. But Kane, Taves, and Keith, I don't think they'll ever trade. Seabrook definitely could be traded, even bought out, though, because that contract is pretty rough on him, too. Even though we did win with him right there as I talk about him. He lifts the cup. And here we go, guys. Stanley Cup pick. Chicago Blackhawks. There's already a few of those. And just added a 4th. And DeBrincat there was actually first star of the game. 2 goals. Crawford 2nd. And then Kessel 3rd. And the draft lottery results just came in. Islanders there picking 1st overall. So they're going to get Jack Hughes. Detroit, though, 2nd. And then the Islanders 3rd as well via LA. That's sick. I was wondering if maybe Keith or Seabrook would retire after winning a cup. But nope. They're holding out here, trying to win some more. Taking a look now to see how everyone did in the playoffs. Kane here with 25 points. Sagan 23. Kovalchuk there 21. We're 3 leading scorers. Crawford did have some pretty insane stats. 4 shutouts, .932 save percentage, and a 1.95 goals against. Hutton, though, in his limited action, I mean, looked pretty good as well. And then playoffs here, we already know how we got there. We'll take a look, though, and see how the Penguins got there. So they beat the Philadelphia Flyers, the Washington Capitals, and the Montreal Canadiens. So 2 of the same teams they seem to always match up with. And like I said, so it was just, 5 games for every single series. Didn't go to 7 games until they matched up with us, and then reverse sweep. That was insane still. So right here, obviously, we already know the team awards. Stamkos there, Art Ross, and the Hart. Our Erik Karlsson actually got James Norris. So I wonder, how would that work, really? A defenseman gets traded at the deadline They're just dominating so much on both teams. They get the James Norris. I wonder if that's ever happened. Kucherov, Lady Bing. Peterson here with the Calder. Crawford, Conn Smythe, obviously. Gibson, not the Vezina. And William M. Jennings. And he was on the trade block. This makes no sense. Bill Masterson there. Lindholm. Bergeron, Selke. Stamkos, Ted Lindsay. And the Maurice Richard. Stamkos cleaned up there. Taking a look at the AHL awards real quick. Sam Steele got something. Hronik. Bernier. Doesn't look like any of our players, though. And looking at the team awards here, looks like our team won the Western Conference as well as our division, but that was it. So, a pretty good season, I would say. I still can't believe just kind of the moves we made at the deadline, the fact it actually paid off and the way it did as well. So we're now at the draft. Just wanted to show you guys the top picks. As you can see there, Hughes did go first overall, but Detroit got this Montgomery guy, 81 overall to the draft. Byram there third, though, the Islanders. So pretty good 1 and 3 picks. Cousins there 4 to the Panthers, then Kako 5 to the Hurricanes. But because we finished our objective of winning the Stanley Cup there in year 2, don't have to continue on with year 3. So I'm going to open up this 50K pack now, which we get to keep, which is awesome. Don't have to quick sell it, especially with the, looks like a bunch of Evos out, some good Stanley Cup cards. Hopefully we get something here. Actually, my pack luck lately, like since Team of the Year, really hasn't been too great. Maybe it changes here. So Chris Letang, DeBrincat, that's kind of, you know, cool, I guess. He did have a pretty big part for us. Marchand, I feel like he has to have had a playoff card out right now. Dumba, Bratz, there's the collectible you're guaranteed. Another one, though, so that's cool. Alright, so, I mean, 2 collectibles, Marchand, Letang. Not bad, but definitely could have been better. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave the thumbs up. Make sure you guys stay tuned for more. The next one will be Colorado Avalanche. I'm going to try and have that one out for you guys as soon as possible, but these do take a lot of time to make, so please be patient. And besides that, thank you guys for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.